Well, today is day 28 of the war, and there seems to be a bit of a de-escalation. Just a while back, in fact, President Donald Trump announced that he will not hit Iran's energy plants for the next 10 days at the request of Iran, and said that the talks with Iran were going very well. Now, this comes even as Iran has turned down the peace plan by United States as one-sided and unfair. At this point in time, back-channel talks are currently underway between the three countries. We're learning US, Israel and Iran. Donald Trump has also charted out a 15-point peace plan to end the war. That includes demand from Iran to hand over the nukes and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And in response, Iran has put forth 5 conditions to end the war. That includes leader asking in fact, for the complete handover of the Strait of Hormuz. And now Donald Trump is saying that the back-channel talks are currently underway and they are going very well with Iran, and there will not be any attack on the energy infra like power plants, refineries, etc. for the next 10 days. Let me get you more perspective on that and go across to our consulting editor, Srinjoy Chaudhary. Good morning, Srinjoy. Can this be seen as a de-escalation in this war? Because now there will be no attacks on the energy infra for the next 10 days. Tell us how crucial this is and why only spare the energy infra.
It's at least some solace that the energy infra is not being hit, because if energy infra in Iran were to be hit, then Iran would redouble its efforts to hit energy infra in other neighboring countries, in the Gulf states, in Saudi Arabia, in all these states. If that were to happen, then there would be a larger crisis vis-a-vis oil, and that would be absolutely catastrophic for many people, because prices of oil would shoot up. Can you imagine what things would be like if Iran, for instance, targeted the Gulf states or refineries? That already has been done a couple of times, but on a regularly. Also targeted the oil wells in a way Saddam Hussein did before leaving Kuwait. Now that would be terrible for the oil industry in the world, for all of us. The other thing is that this would also increase the price of oil in America, and that would cause enormous disaffection. There is a sort of iron rule that if it goes beyond $5 a barrel, then there's bound to be unhappiness, bound to be insecurity. And if that happens, then naturally the president will be blamed for it. So that's really the second thing. Thirdly, at this point, if you hit the Iranian oil infrastructure, it gives Iran further opportunities to do a lot more things. So here is at least one concession that the Americans think they're making. They are saying, look, we won't hit your your oil infrastructure. Let's work towards peace. So that too must be kept into account. If they are working towards peace and saying we won't hit your Gulf infrastructure, your oil infrastructure, right, it basically means that peace has a chance, and indirectly through Pakistan or Turkey or Egypt, something can be done.
All right, so for the next 10 days, there will be no attack on the energy infra as far as Iran is concerned. And that is what Donald Trump has said, that there will be no attack till April 6th. And that is the next deadline that he has put in place. Let me take you through what Donald Trump has posted on social media. The first line is very important. We'll tell you later about this. As per Iranian government request, please let the statement serve to represent that I'm pausing the period of energy plant destruction by 10 days to Monday, April 6, 2026 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Talks are currently underway, and despite the statements to the contrary by fake news media and others, they are going very well. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. So he has said that this decision has been taken as per Iranian government request. Secondly, he has said that he's pausing the attack on energy plant, and the deadline is April 6th at 8 p.m. And the third one is that the talks are going very well. So that's a claim that is coming from Donald Trump as far as day 28 of the war is concerned. We have another breaking update on that. While Donald Trump says that he has paused the strikes on energy infra for the next 10 days on the request of Iran. Iran now, on the other hand, has once again countered him. As per the reports, Iran has not requested any suspension of the US strikes targeting its energy infra, and this is according to the mediators involved in the ongoing diplomatic efforts. Now, at this point in time, Iran is still going through Trump's peace proposal, and they have not given a final response on that. So, on one hand, while Donald Trump claims that he has, on the request of Iran, paused the attack on the energy infra for the next 10 days, Iran has countered this. Let me go across to my colleague Srinjoy once again. Srinjoy, once again, we are witnessing what we've been witnessing in the last 1 month. Donald Trump says one thing and then Iran contradicts or counters that thing. Now, Donald Trump has said that on the request of Iran, he has paused the attack on energy infra for the next 10 days. But as far as Iran is concerned, they are saying that they have not requested any suspension on the US strikes targeting its energy infra. How do we read into this? It's been 28 days since the war started, but every time Donald Trump says something, Iran contradicts, and it leaves people there on the ground also with a lot of confusion.
Well, this is war. These two countries are at war, and this is fog of war. Also, it's hard for Iran to say that to its own people, that look, we've asked the Americans to stop hitting our oil infrastructure. Now, that would be seen as an admission of weakness. No country in the middle of a war would want to say that to its own people. Now, with President Trump, he is a kind of person who is very open in many ways. In a way American presidents haven't been in ages. So he makes things very, very clear. And sometimes it can be counterproductive as well, such openness in the middle of negotiations. But President Trump is very clear. He believes that Iran also is keen that the infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, is not hit. That's the first thing. He also has said that he will not hit oil infrastructure, and of course in a way that's pausing the war to an extent. That doesn't apply to Iran versus Israel and Israel versus Iran.
So that's in fact as far as the day 28 of the war is concerned. Iran is saying that it is still going through Trump's peace proposal but has not given a final response on that. Stay on with us, Shinjo.